Hello again. Now, the National Education Collaboration Trust says the education system needs to be rebooted by vaccinating pupils. The organization says all necessary precautions should be taken now that the pupils are attending school on a full-time basis since Monday. Well, to tell us more about the NECT's views, let's speak to its Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Godwin Khosa. Tatani Khosa, good afternoon and thank you very much for your time. Well, it is back to full-time schooling. You as the NECT, I'm sure you welcome that.
Good afternoon. I'm missing the feed from your end, but good afternoon to everyone.
Okay, can you hear my question now?
Now I can hear you. If you could repeat the question, please, Mr. Moyan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Khosa. Sorry, apologies about that. We're having some audio issues here in the studio this afternoon, but let's try this. Are you welcoming the fact that the pupils are now back to school full-time?
So what happened on Monday is joy to educationists and organizations such as ours who have been propagating for learners to come back to school because the gaps have been huge. So we're elated indeed.
Yes, elated indeed, but it doesn't come without its challenges. What kinds of problems did you foresee? Because you must have been thinking about one day this will come.
Yeah, so I mean there are challenges which are typical of large systems such as ours, and perhaps at this point I could just chip in an observation or a benchmark to other countries to say that, by the way, countries like Zimbabwe only brought back their first kid a week ago, and so did India bring its kids, quite recently. So the fact that we had some of our kids before, I think it's a good thing, and the fact that we're having all of them back, it's a very, very good thing, although there are challenges in the system. So there are instances where we have to deal with challenges of overcrowding and that sort of thing. But we generally are happy to have them back. And one best way in which we can eliminate or reduce that, challenge is to have our kids vaccinated, particularly those who are above 12 years of age, because they are eligible for vaccination.
And those will be mostly your high school student or secondary school students. So you saying by vaccinating them, it will enable the system to work properly. But what are these other challenges that you've identified, Mr. Khosa?
So we have identified some challenges, relating to, firstly, the initial social distancing that was required by government. That has since been reduced, and that's welcome. But there are instances where learners will still have be overcrowded in classes, and solutions would have to be found.
I know, Mr. Khosa, I don't know if you can hear me. Mr. Khosa, sorry, Mr. Khosa, we lost your audio there for a while. I really want to apologize again for the audio problems we're having this afternoon. I don't know if you can say something. Are you still there?
I'm here. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, the audio is back, thankfully. Yeah, you can carry on. You were answering the question about identifying what are these challenges that you anticipated and that are being experienced now as pupils go back to school full time.
So there are challenges in some cases where learners will be overcrowded in classrooms, where schools have to find solutions. There are instances where learners would have to be helped to reinforce the use of masks, which is quite important, and it's very important that learners must continue to do that. But over and above that, here is an opportunity that we must take with both hands, which is we need to get our kids vaccinated. And in that case, we need parents and teachers to encourage our learners to get vaccinated. 2 provinces have started vaccinating learners in their own yards, and these are Gauteng and the Eastern Cape. We're looking forward to the DBE, the Department of Basic Education, actually announcing very soon that all the provinces will actually be vaccinating our kids.
Okay, sorry about that. We lost that connectivity completely. Wow. Apologies for that. Technical issues happen, and when you're on live television, you just have to keep on going. Apologies for that. That was the Chief Executive Officer of the National Education Collaboration Trust, Mr. Godwin Khosa, just explaining to us that they, as the NECT, like other educationists, are thrilled that our pupils are back to school on a full-time basis, but that is not without its challenges, and they've identified the fact that pupils who are above the age of 12 should be encouraged to vaccinate.